Not back on the road yet, but hopefully soon. I'm still recovering from my surgery. However, I wanted to do a little something. You can see here I've purchased some different liquids. A degreaser, an interior cleaner, a foam and a glass cleaner from WD. They do YouTube, what should we say? They clean cars, and it's on YouTube. I'll put a link in the description so that you can see what they do. Anyway, I purchased some of these items. Have yet to try them. This one arrived, and as you can see, it's less in it than the rest. It was leaking, so I complained to them and said, "Hey, you guys need to sort this out." They did. They sent me a replacement degreaser, and they sent me an extra shampoo, which I thought was rather good of them. They didn't have to do that. And also, when this order originally arrived, there was a $5 note in it. So I said, well, what's that? And they said, oh, it's just a promotion we're doing at the moment. So, interesting. Now, let's move on to something else. I'm sorry, there will be no car working stuff in this. Just me giving you some info on shit that is happening. Right, here is some moquette I purchased. Cost me $110 for this, for a yard. Whew, that's expensive stuff. However, and the disappointing thing is it's not the exact same colour as the moquette that I have, which again is disappointing. It's called Biscuit, and my moquette on my car interior is Biscuit. And there it is. You can see the difference, can't you? Actually, this side looks closer to it, doesn't it? And that's not a side that shows. This is the side that shows. It's kind of like a velvet, but it's called a moquette. I may just put it on. I'm not sure yet. I have inquired to a company to see if they could sell me a dye that would make this moquette the same colour as that moquette. I don't know if they can. I'm waiting for them to get back to me. Why do you always have to wait? It really is most frustrating. Okay, let's see what else I can move on to. Okay, I lied. I'm going to do some car stuff. Not going to be very much, I'm afraid, purely because I can't stand for too long. I'll put these pieces of tape on here, one there and one over there, and put a little line on it. That's so I know that's where the pleats start here on the base, and where they start here on the base. That way I can get them lined up on the top. Next will be to put on this piece of sponge. So fit it on there and get it tucked nicely. Stretch it down so it levels with the bottom. There's a slight problem up the top here. There's a fucking surprise where it's not been cut correctly. And the corners are catching there. Should be able to sort that out. Maybe I just need to cut them a little bit, but I think what I'm going to do, there's a gap here. I'm just going to fill that gap. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And then it'll be a matter of turning it round and trimming it. It should be noted that, and I'm sure I've mentioned this before, sorry to jog you around, there doesn't appear to be anything on there. What I'm going to do is put a thin layer of sponge on there so that the metal is not directly behind the leather. I don't like the idea of that. So I'm going to put a thin layer of sponge there, sort of up to the top. Do the same on the other side. There is enough from this big piece that comes here. That's got to curve back and be tapered. So that's going to be a bit of gluing and sanding to do there. I probably won't get to that today. What I hope to get to today is to stick this on here and put the sponge here. Yeah, well, let's just see how it goes, shall we? See how much I can achieve before I have to stop. I can only stand for a short while, as I mentioned. And I'm sorry if you think I'm going on about it, but when you've had your knee chopped about like I have, it's fucking painful. So let me get on and get this piece glued on.
I don't think she'll run for president. Is my gut reading the statement, live here. I thought she was, really considering governor, but I think she wants to serve in different capacities. Is my understanding, but I don't speak for her. I'm not her spokesperson. But let's face it. I mean, she just went through a grueling, presidential race. Her second, cycle. She ran for president, obviously, 5 years ago, and then again this past cycle. So I don't think it'll be a third time, if you're asking me my opinion. But I will tell you that, I think she has an incredibly important voice, and I hope she continues to serve in the public interest in some capacity, whether it's the private sector or elsewhere.
Connie, your reaction to this news about Kamala Harris, the former VP?
I honestly don't think she can win, even in California. California is fed up with their failed leadership, and they are going to go from one failed leader, Gavin Newsom, to another in Kamala Harris. And I think that she even understands she couldn't win there. I don't think that she's going to run for president again, but I'll tell you that she's also been largely absent, even in California, with everything that California has gone through, with the immigration riots, of course, the wildfires. That is her home state, and she did not take the opportunity to stand on
That'll do nicely. Pig.